want to talk today about taking care of your instrument. And I'm not just talking about the guitars on the wall or the guitars that you take on the road or the guitars that you take on your gigs or your amps or your pedals or any of that. And today I've got Ace joining me here. He insisted on being here with me, but here's the deal. I had a comment come in on my channel. And look, when I talk about taking care of your instrument, your body is also an instrument. Many of you out there sing, whether it's backing vocals or lead vocals or even talking between songs. If you're playing a jazz gig, all instrumental, you're still going to want to engage with the audience. So taking care of your body, taking care of your voice, taking care of your hands, taking care of your joints so that you can stand and do your gig and carry your instruments, carry your guitars, load in, load out. It's all a huge part of this. And recently a comment came in. I'm going to read you that comment. And it's a great comment because it talks about longevity. It talks about, being able to do this for a long period of time. And today's comment comes from Kevin Iverson. And he says, "Hi, Brad. Absolutely love your channel. I don't always comment as I usually listen on my commute to work. On holiday today, so can comment. I've just turned 43 years old, and being a singer-guitarist, I've recently decided to cut down my gigs due to trying to take care of my voice. Even gigging 1 to 3 a week in, week out, every year has taken its toll on my voice. I'm now looking to cut down to 4 to 5 a month tops, just to hopefully keep it quality over quantity. As far as retirement, I'd like to think I'll retire myself when I'm ready. Keeping my fingers crossed, it'll be my decision and not a forced thing. Thanks so much again for your constant knowledgeable advice. You work hard at this YouTube thing. I know what it takes. You're an inspiration and fantastic musician, my friend. Sending support from UK." And first of all, man, I love hearing from everybody that comments on my channel. I try to respond to everything, but it is getting to the point now where I can't respond to every comment. But man, and I absolutely love hearing from people in the UK or Australia or New Zealand or anywhere, Germany, Paris, France, all over the world now. And here's the thing, man, I'd always hoped that I would get to tour those places and meet people in those countries. And being based out of Nashville and playing with the kind of acts that I was with on the road, that just didn't happen. So the fact that I'm able to reach these people all over the world now, it makes it all worthwhile. So thank you, Kevin, for tuning in. Now, here's the deal, man. I know exactly what you're talking about. And I think when I was around about your age, 43, 45, somewhere around there, I landed a road gig that had insane amounts of dates on the books. And all of a sudden, I went from kind of doing what you're talking about doing, 1 to 3 a week, every week in, week out, to all of a sudden being on the road and sometimes doing 5 in a row, sometimes doing, 4 or 5 gigs a row, being gone for 3 weeks at a time, doing radio and TV during the day and all of that stuff. And man, all of a sudden I was working more than I'd ever worked in my life. And I was also not really a young man anymore. And also was deep in my cups, also out on the road, finally living the dream in a way and having fun with it, but maybe having a bit too much fun. And what you're talking about here, cutting back on gigs. Now, one thing that probably gave me more longevity as far as singing goes, generally, for many, many years, it would be one or two a week, 4-hour gigs, one or two a week, and so that stuff, I was able to maintain my voice for a lot of years because here's the other thing. I was also a single man for many, many years. So and I've just recently experienced that with my wife and my child out of town for a few days, realizing how I used to live, how I would, a pack of meat would last me 3 or 4 days. And I would get tons of vocal rest because I'm not having to talk all day. I could be silent for days if I wanted to. Now, doing this channel, I'm not able to do that. But man, for many, many years, and I'm not a phone person. I'm not one of those people who likes to call up people and just talk on the phone all day. So I would get tons of vocal rest because all I did was play guitar for a living, sing 1 or 2 nights a week. And I was able to get that voice so that then when I did get the call at 43, 45 or so years old to go out on the road and all of a sudden do insane amounts of gigs and singing every single night, sometimes at the top of my range, I was able to do that probably because of all the rest and stuff that I did. Now, here's the deal, man. I would say for you, the important thing would be to pick and choose your spots, right? Doing, a gig every weekend, that's a given, man. As a musician, if you're not working on Saturday night, it starts to feel like, what am I doing? What's going on? Why don't I have a gig tonight? And I understand that, right? So, but here's the deal, man. You can cut back, you can limit, to try and save your voice, but you can also pick and choose. You can also say, you know what, this particular gig, it's not the right vibe for me. And if you have a day gig, which it sounds like you do, then you will be able to go, yeah, I can do this, or yeah, I don't want to do that. But when you're doing music full time, the reality is you're going to have to take everything that comes in pretty much. And that's a whole different ball game. But man, setting limits on what you do, 4 to 5 a month, that sounds reasonable. But you know what? If you're working 5 days a week, you think of it, and then you're working Saturday, you're not allowing but 1 day a week to fully rest. And I don't know if you have a family at home or any of that, but, man, it's important. It's important to get vocal rest. It's important to recharge. I don't know about you, but, for me, it seemed like every moment where hour that I was in, performing and doing all that, I needed a day or two to decompress, to just have some solitude and clear my head and all of that. But, man, this is a great topic because picking and choosing your spots, whether you're a young man or you're an older guy still doing it, or you're even somebody my age who's still out there, or guys even older than me that are still out there doing it. There does come a time where you start to notice you can't hit the same notes you could when you were a kid. And, that's a revelation. You have to try to figure out, what can I do? And I know older singers, when I see an older guy that's in a rock band or whatever, I know when they're trying to save their voice. I know when they're singing a different melody to try to, I won't hit the top note till the one time when I need to hit it. And the rest of the time, I'm going to alter the melody so that I don't have to wear out my voice. This is a very real thing, and you see it happen every single day. If you go to concerts these days, the older acts, they've all altered their material. The other thing you could consider is tuning down. If you're playing in standard tuning down to E flat, that's not a major difference, but it can give you some longevity. It can make those top notes seem a little bit easier. So there's a lot of things that you can do. Always stay hydrated. Keep lozenges close to the stage. I should probably have one now. I should probably keep a tin of them when I shoot these videos, because the reality is your voice wears out. Your voice is an instrument, but it's also your body, and it needs rest. It needs proper nutrition. And here's the other thing, getting exercise, going out and walking. You know what? Yeah, I do a lot of walk and talk videos on this channel, and there's a reason for that. I've always done road work of some kind. In my younger years, it was jogging, but even before that, it was running, and now it's walking. And I find that it opens the lungs. It gives you more oxygen. And if you have time to do that, taking a 30-minute to an hour walk can do wonders for your lung power. And you may think you'll be more tired later that day. And at first you might be, but it's going to increase your lung capacity and give you more power when you do need to hit those notes. So, man, this has been a great topic, and man, I'm always glad to hear from people on my channel, and I'm gonna start featuring comments more often on this channel. So always leave a comment on my videos, because you never know when your comment is going to be featured in a video. Thank you to Kevin, and thank you to everybody that tuned in and watched this episode. Have a great one.